good luck in all nations command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Tonight for the Soviets will be Alexander Tikhnich, a changed on, age 26, and his team is the Red Army.
Well, he has played behind Tretiak the last couple of years, and I know that Tretiak has schooled him a little bit. Watching him in practice, he's a real stand-up goalie, challenges really well, and I'm sure that he will be an adequate replacement to Vladimir Mishkin.
The other change, as we mentioned at the start of our telecast tonight, in goal tonight for Germany will be Bernhard Engelbrecht.
Well, he's a youngster. He's lots of international experience. He's been with the international team that's traveled with Germany for the last couple of years, and he's been in North America training with some of the NHL teams for the last couple of years, too.
Well, tonight in the officiating, we certainly have years of experience. Our referee tonight, as we mentioned, is Ron Wicks. And two very, very experienced linesmen working with Ron Wicks tonight will be Kevin Collins and Gordy Brosiker.
If you ever wanted the referee in the National Hockey League or in international competition to really let a team and let two teams play and open up, it's Ronnie Wicks. He certainly calls a good game. I'm sure you're going to see wide open, high-flying hockey.
The Soviets will start Alexei Kasatolov on defense along with Mikhail Gusarov. The forward line will be Vladimir Krutov, Igor Larionov, and Sergei Makarov. And for Germany, it is Ignaz Berndanner on defense along with Andreas Niederberger. On the forward line will be Marcus Kuhl, Gerd Truchka, and Holger Meitinger. We are all set to go with the opening period on Canada Cup 84 tonight from Edmonton. Puck is at the center ice red line. Shot back over the Soviet line. Soviets now starting to get in position, circling. You'll see a lot of this during this game. Krutov trying to pass over the German line. It was knocked down by Truchka. Truchka playing for Germany. He was born in Czechoslovakia. Play in the German zone. Marcus Kuhl fired it all the way back down to Soviet territory. The goaltender Tikhnich trying to clear it out. Right in front. Oh, and just knocked off at the last moment by goaltender Tikhnich along with Gusarov. That was the early scoring opportunity for Germany, and it was handled by Meitinger. The Soviets coming right back, trying to stick it in the short side, missed it. The puck comes back down to the Soviet zone. Stelnov. Forward pass to Makarov. Makarov lost it. Reindl shoots it back to the Soviet zone. Varnikov to center, passing over on the right side. Cove in over the line. A good save by Engelbrecht. Now Germany on the move. Long shot, glove save by Tikhnich. Left in the corner. we mentioned, Germany out to prove they belong in Canada Cup '84. I think they did that the other night, Don, when they tied Czechoslovakia 4-4.
Well, they're maybe one of the most aggressive teams in the tournament.
Skvortsov over the line, right in front, and Tickney was standing, waiting for the action to come back to his end, but what a good save by Engelbrecht. And you could see Ticknich at the other end just shake his head. He continues to work out, Don.
Well, Engelbrecht makes a real big save here. Good pass over to Kovin. He moves in. Engelbrecht, good concentration, stands up, controls the rebound. That's what he's going to have to do to keep Germany in the game.
There's the goaltender, Niederberger, along with Engelbrecht. They're on the ice. Cleared back behind, off the boards, and the loose puck comes sliding out to center ice. Barbukin tried it to center, where it is picked up. Semyonov, a shot, and right on, and Engelbrecht hung on.
Checking off, the Soviet coach is very, very concerned. The other night against Sweden, he wasn't real happy with the way the team played. They come out with a win, but it certainly wasn't the Soviet style that everyone expected.
This face-off will go to the left of goaltender Bernhard Engelbrecht. It is kept in German territory. Now drilled off the boards. Obressa fired it all the way back down to the right of Tickney. Puck hit referee Ron Wicks. Yashin back behind his own goal leads it. Semyonov coming up, dropping it back for Yashin. Yashin in over the line. Back a shot right on. Good save again by Engelbrecht. Good pad save. Germany turns right back up the right side. Rutger shot it down. It went into the corner. They fight for it out in front, trying to turn around and get a shot away. They didn't. The puck was stolen. Skating around was Yashin. Sergei Yashin lost the puck. Germany trying to recover. Schiller carrying it up to center ice. Comes back to Niederberger. You'll see lots of action for this team tonight. And there we have a whistle. And so with 16:19 remaining here in the first period, there is no score on Canada Cup '84. Off will take the face-off for the Soviet Union in German territory. Germany starts out down the right side. Michael Betts was stopped. Schiller turns at center and leaves it all the way back behind his own line. Dieter Hagen drilling it off the boards. The puck slides right onto the stick of Alexander Ticknich. Both teams seem to be playing very cautiously, Don, early in the first period.
Well, I think the Germans are a little hesitant on what the Soviets are going to try and throw at them. I know that coach Xavier Usen has prepared this team very, very well. He is a real hard coach to play for because there's no laughter amongst practice. He wants complete discipline out of his players at all times.
Well, he's kind of a dapper-looking man, isn't he? He's got the hat on tonight.
Well, he might have borrowed that hat off Punch Imlach.
Face-off will go to the left of Engelbrecht. Loose puck. Prunchka has it back behind his own goal. Puck is fired off the boards, back down to the right of Alexander Ticknich. And coming back to touch it, an icing call again will go against Germany. With 15:19 remaining, there is no score here in the first period from Edmonton. Again, a face-off in the German zone. Larionov takes the face-off for the Soviets. Larionov with the puck, tried to clear it in front, failed to do so. Now Germany coming out, led by Peter Schiller. He stopped at center. Stelno tried a rink-wide pass right in front, and just tipped wide by Krutov. a good scoring opportunity, Don.
This certainly was. There's a perfect example how good the Soviets are with their sticks. Krutov hit that right out of the air.
Almost clicking on a pass to Meitinger, but he was stopped. Now Germany turning again. Brunschke carries it to center. Medikus lost it, and it comes all the way back down to the German blue line. Pass over to Marcus Kuhl. He juggled it, and it slides off the boards back to the Soviet zone. Vladimir Kovin behind his own blue line. Over to Pervukin. Out to Kovin again. The loose puck now goes back to the German zone. Soviets trying to keep it in. Dieter Medikus back behind his own goal, trying to work his way out. He passed it. It bounced to center. Franz Reindl was stopped at the Soviet blue line. Here's a pass to center. Coming down over the line and was spun around with Skvortsov. Reindl carrying it up to the Soviet line. He's squeezed out of the play. Larionov was checked right in front. Here's a shot, and that hit a leg. Another shot on a quick drive by Dieter Hagen. Veladinov out to center ice for the Soviets. Passing it back in over the line to Kovin. Kovin drops it back. Veladinov fired it. That hit a stick, and the Germans come back out. Lobbed high down to the right of Tietny. Comes off the boards as Hufner keeps it in for Germany. Hufner, a shot right on. A quick drive by Dieter Hagen, taking the pass from Hufner. Again, a shot. Brilliant save that time by Tietny. Key save. 12:45 remaining. First period. The action is picking up. A long drive tipped away. That time Peter Sharp let that quick shot go. In the Soviet zone, it's held along the boards for a face-off with 12:33 remaining. Shots on goal have been even, Don, 4 apiece.
Well, one of the things for all the young goalkeepers at home is watch the balance of the Soviet goalkeeper technique. All the movement, he moves, he's always got the weight over top of his feet, and he plays a lot like Tretiak. His shoulders are always square to the shooter, and he's always in good position because of it.
You mentioned he had played behind Tretiak, so I'm sure that he picked up the odd tip.
Sir, nice protege to follow.
Coming in over the line, this is Svetlov right in front. Tipped wide, bouncing puck off the board. Comes back out to center. Semyonov for the Soviets. Loose puck at center. Passed over on the left side. Gusarov carried it in over the line. Gusarov was dumped, and there's going to be a holding penalty. First penalty of this hockey game with 11:58 remaining. No score between the USSR and Germany.
Well, Rudger gets called here for holding. We'll have to see now if the Soviets can pay off on this penalty. That's something if the Germans want to take costly penalties like this, it's really going to cost them as the game goes on.
Rudger for holding, 8:02. Soviets will have the man advantage. Here's a break for Germany. Long shot right on. Technique makes the save. Going into the corner, Manfred Wolf in along the boards, lost it. Krutov to center. Up over the line. Krutov drops it back for Kasatonov. A shot knocked down in front of the goal and drilled all the way back down to the right of Alexander Technique. Germany short-handed. And over the line, Kasatonov. Skates in front of his own goal. Now goes behind. This is Kasatonov. Long clearing pass. No one could get to it. Coming back, Niederberger touches it. The Soviet Union are going to be called for icing the puck.
Well, one of the things the Soviets love to do on their power play, they love to feed it from behind their net to their forwards and then try and catch defensemen on the fly moving up with the play. And one of the things the Germans have done so far is they just haven't allowed the defensemen to move, and by doing this, it sort of delays the Soviets from leaving their own zone.
There you see the Soviet bench, and an excellent shot there of Vladimir Mushkin. Puck comes back to the German blue line. There's 57 seconds remaining in the penalty for Royal Rutgar. Also holding. Germany doing a very effective job at killing off this penalty.
Well, they might not have the talent, but they have a hard work ethic, Ron.
Carrying the puck to center is Irek Divinev. Puck goes bouncing back behind Engelbrecht. Back to the point. Trying to draw a check off the boards. Puck is shot behind the goal. Vasiliev along the boards holds it along with Divinov, and they hold it long enough to force a face-off now with only 18 seconds remaining in the penalty to Rutgar.
Every time Germany can get a face-off in their own end during a penalty, it's a good play. It gives their players a chance to go to the bench and sort of get a little bit of a rest, but at the same time it slows the Soviets' momentum down.
10 minutes, 16 seconds remaining first period. There's no score in this hockey game. Both teams have played rather cautiously. They did break open for a few minutes, but now have gone back into a little shell because Germany trying to kill off this penalty. Soviets have the man advantage. Back it comes to Pervukin over on the other side, and it comes out to center ice. Pervukin, a pass. Other in the corner, fighting for it. It goes loose. Doesn't come out as it's kept in by Pervukin. The penalty is up. Soviets failed to score while they had the man advantage. Germany did an excellent job on killing off that penalty. Varnikov down the right side, lost the puck. And a good check thrown by Dieter Medikus. With 9:28 remaining, there is no score on Canada Cup 84, the USSR and Germany.
So Dieter Medikus didn't play the other night, but certainly a big asset here tonight against the Soviets.
Medikus threw a good check, and that was thrown on Anatoly Kovin.
The Germans may be one of the most physical teams in this tournament. Everyone that is sort of talked about them says, geez, they're not sitting back. They're trying to take the play and playing the style of hockey that maybe the North Americans do during the regular season.
Puck comes over the German blue line, and then it bounces off the boards. Kasatonov has it. Kasatonov leaving it for Gusarov. Carrying it over is Yashin. Yashin right in front of backhand, just went wide as Semyonov let a quick backhand go. Taking the puck from Yashin. Now coming down, in over the line, spun around was Dieter Hagen. The Soviets' turn, carry it out. Semyonov was caught offside.
A big save there. Big save there by Engelbrecht.
Yeah, they're going to the bench is Ernst Hofner.
He might be one of the fastest players on the German team, Ron. He's got good speed, and the Soviets have to really watch him because he's not a bad puck handler either.
Larionov got the draw outside of the German line. Back down into the corner to the right of goaltender Engelbrecht. Now the puck is shot back down to Soviet territory. Stelnov will touch it, and there'll be icing called against Germany with 8 minutes and 31 seconds remaining.
One of the things the Germans have really done well here in the first period, they've shut down the middle ice zone, just haven't allowed the Soviets to get on track, especially in front of their net. They've shut the middle down, so there's no corner passes coming out into the slot zone. The German team is really taking away the front of the net.
Puck loose in German territory, kicked along the boards. Larionov fighting for it. Back into the corner, racing in is Starikov. Now it comes to the right of goaltender Engelbrecht, off the boards, and his shot all the way down to the right of Alexander Tickney. We have a whistle on the play. And so, with 8:07 remaining in the first period on Canada Cup 84, there is no score between the USSR and Germany. This is Ron Hewitt along with Don Edwards in Edmonton, bringing you tonight's game between Germany and the USSR. Over the line comes Rudgar. Rudgar was pulled down, no penalty. The crowd a little unhappy with that. Coming over the line now is Larionov. Larionov in front, was checked from behind. Obressa, a pass, no one could get to it. And it's shot back down to the German blue line. A bouncing puck, it's recovered there by Makarov. Makarov drops it back. Here is a drive. Oh, good glove save by Engelbrecht right from the blue line. This telecast is protected by copyright intended solely for the non-commercial entertainment of our viewing audience. Any use, reproduction, or distribution in whole or in part of the pictures or descriptions herein contained without the express written consent of the Sports Network is strictly prohibited.
Well, Ron, you read that awful well. That looks like a pretty tough job. This is a good hockey game. I'm surprised the Germans are really playing very, very well. They're looking after their end. They're letting Bernhard Engelbrecht see all the pucks from the point.
Puck is back behind the German goal. It bounces off the boards back to Soviet territory. Beloladinov back for it. Trying to clear it out. Soviets having a little difficulty. Squeezed along the board was Kozitnikov. Now keeping it in is Hübner. Hübner trying to center it, failed to do so, and breaking out is Vasiliev. Vasiliev carrying it in over the line, dropped it back off the boards. Beloladinov kept it in. Now Germany recovers on the right side. Peter Sharp carrying it up over the line. He was pulled out. There's going to be a penalty to the Soviets. 6 minutes, 49 seconds remaining. Referee Ron Wicks on top of the play, calling a holding penalty.
Beloladinov, little hook or little hold there. Got caught a little bit of position, a little flat-footed here, got caught going the outside. Just a little arm out, pulls down the German player. Ron Wicks is following up on the play. Let's see if the Germans can take advantage of this and take the lead.
Going into the penalty box for holding, Zintula Beloladinov at 12-11. 6 minutes, 49 seconds remaining, so now Germany will have the man advantage, and the face-off is going to go in Soviet territory to the right of goaltender Alexander Tickney.
Tikhonov has got Parvukin and Kazatanis out there, his big defenseman.
USSR penalty to number 14, Zintul Bilyadinov.
Okay, right in front, they poke at it, oh, and Tickney just blocked that. Shot out to center right. Now recovered there by Medikas.
2 minutes holding.
Loose puck at center. Racing up for it is Marcus Kuhl. He was checked. Puck comes back to the German blue line. Gerd Truschka. There's a minute 25 now remaining in that penalty. The Germans have the man advantage at the moment. Puck is drilled off the boards to the left of Tickney. Shot behind the goal. Dieter Medikas couldn't get to it for Germany. It comes all the way down. Out of his goal was Engelbrecht. Engelbrecht, a pass. Gerd Truschka coming out for Germany. Out to center. Up in over the line. He was checked. Now they go into the corner. Back for it is Stelnov. Stelnov lost it. Truschka has it. Back to the point. A shot. That bounced off the leg. And flipping it forward was Sportsov. Recovering for Germany. There's only 31 seconds now remaining in that penalty. 5 minutes, 15 seconds remaining in the first period. Puck in the Soviet zone, off the boards. It hit Rainer Blum. Now the Soviets come out. They're led this time by Svetlov. Svetlov for Semyonov, right in front, and Engelbrecht covered up. Only 10 seconds now remaining in the penalty.
Well, I think one of the things the Germans are going to have to do, if they can't beat the Soviets at their blue line, they're going to have to dump it in. The Soviet goaltenders are not famous for handling the puck. And one of the big plays that Engelbrecht makes, comes across, just doesn't get quite control of the puck, and Ronnie Wicks blows a whistle, loses a little concentration and sight on the puck.
Svetlov was dangerously close, right in position in front of goaltender Bernhard Engelbrecht. Back to the blue line, a backhand went high and wide. Stelnov let that one go. Germany trying to regroup out to the center ice area. It is banged off the boards. And a whistle on the play with 4 minutes, 45 seconds remaining. Linesman Kevin Collins will handle the face-off duties at the rim of the center ice circle.
Well, Tikhonov, the Soviet coach, has little concern. I thought he would try and get a lot more production out of his two defensemen, Pervukin and Kazatonov.
Puck is in the Soviet zone. Makarov leaving it. Pervukin. Watch the Soviets start to circle as they move forward. Larionov in over the right side, tried to center it. Makarov was knocked to the ice. Penalty is up. Teams are back full strength. Puck is in the area to the right of Tiknich as the Soviets start out. Larionov carrying it down in over the line, and he was stopped, but it bounces back. Krutov behind the goal. Krutov knocked his man down to the ice, and the puck is held for a face-off in German territory. 3:52 remaining. This is the first period of Canada Cup 84. No score between the USSR and Germany. Face-off will go to the right of Bernhard Engelbrecht in the German zone with 3 minutes, 52 seconds remaining. The draw comes back over the Soviet blue line. Backboard is Gusarov. Up through the center ice area where it's knocked back down. A long shot. That's way over the head of Tiknich. Hit the glass. Back behind is Peter Obressa for Germany. Comes bouncing back and forced back is Peter Sharp. Sharp goes back behind his own blue line. There's a loose puck. Fired off the boards, in over the line, and it is cleared back to the corner. The right side to Vasilyev. Out to center. And we would invite you to stay tuned. Upcoming in our first intermission, Jim Van Horn will be along with our TSN Sports Desk, and Roger Nielsen will be along with highlights of this first period and some of that excellent goaltending, along with our intermission guest from the German team, Manfred Wolf. That's all coming up on TSN's first intermission on Canada Cup 84.
If there's one thing that coaches across Canada can learn is the strong face-off performance that the Soviets, their strength is unbelievable.
Givayev would get the draw, and it comes back to the Soviet zone. They get into position now. Givayev out to center. A pass to Kozhevnikov, a shot. Engelbrecht was sharp on that. Well, the major publicity, Don, has been about Karl Friesen, the other German goaltender, but certainly tonight, Engelbrecht, so far in the hockey game, has come up with some excellent saves.
He stands on his feet real well.
Puck back down to the Soviet zone. Now starting out, a pass to Vasilyev. Over on the right side. Vasilyev lost it, and it is shot back down to Soviet territory. There's 2 minutes and 19 seconds remaining. This is the first period. Puck comes back out to the center ice area. Shot over on the right side to Michael Betts. He couldn't control it. This is Peter Schiller. Schiller, a bouncing puck, is handled with ease by Tiknich. Kasatonov trying to get out. A forward pass to Varnikov. Varnikov simply fires it in over the German lines. Back behind the goal is Skvortsov. Skvortsov lost it. Now it is kept in, though, by Steryakov. A bouncing puck at center ice. Drilled down to the Soviet zone, and racing back forward is Steryakov. Loose puck out over the line, and Germany is caught on the offside with 1 minute 31 seconds remaining. And there is still no score here in the first period. This is Mikhail Varnikov of the Soviet team going to the bench.
Trying to get some information out of the Russian team about Varnikov is that he's maybe one of the most skilled players in the Soviet Union. Good fundamentals and very, very strong.
Player waved out of the face-off circle. Now Ignaz Berndanner will come in for the face-off. Yashin, a pass, right side. In over the line, a shot. Glove save by Engelbrecht.
Good glove save. Engelbrecht maybe a little back in the net, but got good sight of the puck, was able to control the rebound, and
Sergei Svetlov
comes in over the blue line. Used the defenseman as a little bit of a screen, and it's a good play by Engelbrecht. Just stop the play, and let's get things under control again.
Svetlov let that shot go. Puck comes sliding back down to the Soviet zone. There's a minute 10 remaining here in the first period. Soviets get into position now. Start to come out. Semyonov down the right side. Svetlov carried it in over the line. Svetlov trying to keep it in, failed to do so. Now it is shot back in, this time by Pervuki. Back into the corner. Fighting for it is Yashin. Yashin still has it. Looks to go in front was Popchek, but coming up with the puck was Svetlov. Svetlov, a pass to Semyonov. Semyonov was checked. Medicus tried to clear it out for Germany, failed to do so, and it is kept in. Trapping the puck. Here is a shot. That went off a leg. A bouncing puck. Svetlov is all over the place. Now it comes back to center to Pervuki. It's dumped right back down to the German zone again. Svetlov goes in along the boards. Players come in and try to hold it there. And now it is loose. As the siren goes with the Soviets coming right behind the goaltender Bernhard Engelbrecht. And so, Donnie, we had no scoring here in that first period.
Well, the Germans definitely have to be complimented. They weren't intimidated by the strong Soviet team. They just shut down their own end and didn't give the Soviets a lot of great opportunities around the net. Let Bernhard Engelbrecht see all the shots. He controlled the rebounds, and at the same end, Technic made a couple big saves for the Soviets. So the period was pretty evenly played.
Played very cautiously, too, by both teams. So, at the end of the first period on Canada Cup 84 from Edmonton, no score between the USSR and Germany. Penalty to Roy Rudgar. He went for holding at 8:02, and then the Soviet Union picked up a penalty as Beloladinov went for holding at 13:11. But neither team scored while they had the man advantage. And I think the first period was a little surprising, Don, because I thought the Soviets would be a little more powerful than they were. Those are the two goaltenders, Technic for the Soviet Union and Bernhard Engelbrecht for Germany. Both teams made goaltending changes for this game tonight. Don?
Well, young Manfred Wolf mentioned earlier about Bernhard Engelbrecht coming to the Calgary Flames a year ago. He came in for about 4 days just before the Flames played Vancouver in the playoffs, and he was the instant replacement in training, and sort of through the practice. He came in, and the players sort of imitated that he was going to be the Vancouver goalie, and a lot of high shots on him, and he performed very, very well.
Well, there you see some fans, some strong German fans here, and you can hear them when the Germans make their move. But again, we mentioned that they are without their big goal scorer, who scored 2 goals the other night in the tie with Czechoslovakia, and that is Helmut Steiger is out because he got into a fight, and in international hockey, the rule is automatic suspension. Kasatonov for the Soviets. Tried a clearing pass on the right side for Gusarov. He failed to get to it in time, and grabbing the puck was Engelbrecht, and he holds it to force a face-off.
Ron, if the Soviets are going to get on track, they're going to have to count on their big line of Krutov, Larionov, and Makarov. They just haven't done anything in the last 2 games. I don't know if maybe they're just a little tired or they're just off their games, but they certainly haven't been effective.
Well, Larionov plays center. He got the draw. A bouncing puck in German territory. And Truchka tried to clear it out, failed to do so. Krutov now in over the line. It's along the boards. They fight for it. This is a rink-wide pass out to center. Clearing pass on the left side, just a little too far for Medicus. But a good passing play combination by Germany. Bernhard Engelbrecht failed to clear it out. Right in front. Here's a shot, and they score! Sergei Makarov.
You just can't let the Soviets give them room. One mistake, and it really costs you. Bernhard Engelbrecht just mishandles the puck, and Sergei Makarov hops on it, moves in, takes the puck away, walks out. Right here, Engelhardt should have just given him a little poke check. Instead, Makarov, being a smart player, just hung onto it, open net goal.
Sergei Makarov, and now the USSR goes into an early second period lead by a score of 1-0 at the 52nd mark.
The Team USSR goal scored unassisted by number 25, Sergei Makarov. The time, 15 seconds.
Play underway in the German zone. Fighting for it along the boards. Peter Sharp tried to hold it, and now it is shot back down to the Soviet zone. Stelnov going back to touch it, and icing is called. And so in the early stages of the second period, the Soviet Union has pulled in front of Germany by a score of 1-0 on Canada Cup 84. Taking the puck behind his own goal is Peter Sharp. Germany trying to get out. It bounced off a skate. Comes back down to the left of Ticknich. Here's a shot that went wide as Ticknich did a bad job in clearing it. Comes back to center. Ryle shot it back to the Soviet zone. Svetlov trying to get it out. He does. Coming down in over the line is Semyonov. Semyonov right in front. Oh, and it is cleared away. Soviets starting to put on the pressure now. Manfred Wolf tried to pass, failing to click. Belovodinov fired it off the glass. Back to center. Medicus drove it into the Soviet zone, but it was far from being on the net. And now it comes back over the German blue line, where Engelbrecht cleared it back out to center. Yashin lost it in the corner. Svetlov has it. Svetlov was checked. Germany trying to get out, led by Schiller. He didn't get anywhere with it. Back to the blue line, coming down in over the line. A shot went wide by Kozubnikov. 17:09 remaining, and we're going to have a penalty called here in the early stages of the second period, with the Soviets leading Germany 1-0 on Canada Cup 84.
For tripping, pulled down Sergei Yashin.
The Dikas, 2 minutes holding. Time 2:51.
Well, the penalty was for tripping, not holding at 2:51. Dieter Medicus. Soviets have the man advantage, coming down in over the line. Oh, and a pass nearly clicked with Krutov. Bouncing around German territory. Soviets putting on the pressure. They have the man advantage now. With the puck, it's Makarov. Right in front. Oh, and a big save by Engelbrecht. Soviets applying the pressure. They have the man advantage. This is Kasatonov with a shot. It went wide. Makarov in the corner. deflected, and it is cleared by Germany down to the Soviet zone by Niederberger.
Big save by Engelbrecht.
Soviets on the move again. Larionov with the puck. Drops it back to the point. Soviets have the man advantage for 48 more seconds. Trying to draw a check behind the goal. Larionov has the puck. He lost it. Shot off the glass, but not out. Back to the line. Into the corner. Coming back to the point. A shot just went wide. A blistering shot by Gusarov. Krutov in the corner. Gets it back for Makarov. Here is a shot. That hit a leg. Kasatonov let that one go. Turning is Makarov. Back to the point. In the corner. There's only 10 seconds now remaining. Back it comes to Kasatonov. A shot. He scores!
Well, the key to that power play goal by Kasatonov, the Soviets just waited, kept passing the puck around, got the Germans a little out of position. Kasatonov lots of times lets the shot go, but the key is just the patience on the Soviets' part. The passing just gets the Germans running. This is exactly what young hockey players don't do, hang on the puck. Just set it up, get your chance, and when you let it go, everyone moves the net. The Soviets are right there for the rebounds, moving in. Engelbrecht just doesn't get enough of it.
That's a power play goal. Kasatonov, his first goal of the series.
This is what Tikhonov wanted out of his defensemen. He wanted them to control the play.
4:46 the time. That might have deflected off another Soviet player standing in front. We'll wait for the official to see what happens. It may have gone to Larionov, who was standing in front of Engelbrecht, but let's wait for the official on it. Kasatonov let it go. Here it is.
Goal scored by number 11.
Yes, he does.
Igor Larionov. The assist to number 7, Alexei Kasatonov. And number 9, Vladimir Krutov. The time, 4 minutes, 46 seconds.
Larionov gets credit for the goal. We've got 14:27 remaining. This is the second period, but now the Soviets have gone into a 2-0 lead. That was a power play goal.
Assist to Kasatonov and Krutov.
Kozebnikov shot it in over the line.
4:46.
Recovering in his own zone. A pass to the center ice area, and that is knocked down as Vasilyev failed to get anywhere with it. Germany trying to get out now. A loose puck. Puck is still in German territory. Here is a shot right on Givyevnev. A save by Engelbrecht. We'll see if this breaks the spirit of the German team. Reindl along the boards in front of the penalty timekeeper's bench. And we have a whistle on the play.
I think there will be a change on the goal. Kasatonov lets a shot go. The German defense moves to the puck and maybe touched his stick, but it definitely was a direct shot, and Engelbrecht just goes off the inside of his pad. If he might have been a little farther and got his pad flat on the ice, he might have been able to control the rebound, but the big thing, it would have went between his legs.
13:39 remaining, second period. Germany and the Soviets. Here's a shot right on, saved by Tickney. It's a long pass that was knocked down at center by Obressa. Shot back down to the Soviet zone. Coming around the boards on the right side. Dvortsov failed to get anywhere with it. A whistle on the play as an offside was called. 13:13 remaining. 2-0. The Soviets pull in front. A power play goal. They gave it to Larionov.
It definitely was Kasatonov, though. When we talk about the Krutov, Makarov, and Larionov line, it'd be like Wayne Gretzky, Mike Bossy, and Michel Goulet playing together all year.
The puck is in Soviet territory. Back behind the goal. Belododinov trying to get out. Got it back behind his own net. Varnikov with the puck. His pass off the boards, intercepted at center. Turning Obressa. Obressa was knocked down. With the loose puck. Ryle at the line. He was stopped. Some hard hitting going on. Soviets down over the line, a shot. That time, Varnikov let it go, and a save by Engelbrecht. Out to the center ice area. Ryle shot it back down to the Soviet zone, and back for it is Parabukin. Puck is stolen by Schiller. Offside called with 12:23 remaining in the second period. The score, the USSR 2, Germany no score on Canada Cup 84.
USSR goal.
USSR leading Germany. For those of you who keep records at home of the goals, they have changed that goal back again, and Kasatonov has been given credit for the second goal. Alexei Kasatonov let it go from the blue line, a power play goal. Face-off has taken place. Action is underway in German territory to the right of goaltender Engelbrecht. Stiff check being thrown. Germany trying to get out. They're down by 2 goals. The center ice, over the line, Hübner just in slightly ahead of the play, so an offside is called with 11:50 remaining.
One of the dominating factors in the hockey game, and what no one might believe, is the fact that the Soviets, as the game goes on, they pick the tempo up, and that's just through great conditioning. They've worked very hard. They went to camp in May 25th when the Edmonton Oilers and the New York Islanders were still playing the Stanley Cup playoffs.
About to have a face-off outside of the Soviet line. Here's a pass over the line, a quick shot, and a good save by Tiktich on a drive by Meitinger.
Well, that's maybe one of the trademarks of the Russian goalies, is on those long shots, they go to their knees. And if you remember back in the '80 Olympics, Tretiak was criticized for going on his knees on the long shots.
Gerard Trunchka for the face-off in the Soviet zone. Starikov lost it behind his own goal, but Larionov picked it up. Starikov. Good pass. It's set. Oh, what a check. Going by Peter Sharp. And Krutov really was sent flying into the board. That was the hardest check we've seen in the games that we have covered in Canada Cup 84.
Well, the comment from the German people was that Sharp was a hard hitter, and Krutov certainly felt it there.
Play in the Soviet zone, nearly a goal scored by Larionov on his own net. Stelnov passed it over on the right side to Yashin. Yashin back behind the goal, centered it. It comes over to Staryakov. He tried to center it again, but to no avail. Along the board, Germany now on the move. Starting up in over the line. A pass, and that was intercepted. Racing back, up over the line was Larionov. Dropped it back, loose puck, and that is drilled back down to the Soviet zone, as coming back for it is Pervuki. 2-0 USSR leading Germany. We've got 10 minutes, 14 seconds remaining here in the second period. Offside called against Germany.
Well, I'm sure Krutov went to the bench and was wondering what cement truck hit him. That might have been one of the hardest checks thrown tonight. Certainly that would wake up the Russian bench, and Michigan was standing right there, and he tried to get the play stopped, get the attention of the referee to get it stopped. Gets his head down, and oh, boom, right in the boards, and those are the kind of checks you like to see defensemen make.
Sergei Makhadov and Kasatonov have scored for the Soviets. Loose puck at center, recovered by the Soviets. Pulled down at the line was Kozebnikov. Germany turns on the move. Coming out now is Dieter Hagen. In over the line with Hübner. Hübner was taken out of the play. Soviets come back. Carrying it in over the line. Vasiliev, he was knocked down. The puck comes back to the Soviet zone. 9 minutes, 24 seconds remaining. This is the second period. Loose puck at center. Vasiliev. Vasiliev in over the line, dropping it back right in front, and that was blocked. be a penalty called against Germany. Givayev was knocked down. Here's a bouncing puck that went high over the head of Engelbrecht. Puck is touched, and here will be the call by referee Ron Wicks. So a penalty will be handed out. A holding penalty is called by referee Ron Wicks with 9 minutes remaining here in the second period, and Peter Sharp gets the gate. USSR 2, Germany no score. Canada Cup 84. He was assessed to Ernst Hoffner. Goes for holding. Soviets will have the man advantage, Don, and this is when they are dangerous.
Well, they've got their big line out there again, and certainly Kazanov with he's the key on the play because he handles the puck. He wants to set everything up on that blue line.
Coming back behind his own goal is Niederberger. Niederberger failed to get out. Puck is shot off the boards and kept in, though, by the Soviets. Niederberger goes in, tries to tie up his man along the boards, failed to do so. Back it comes to Kasatonov, a shot, and that went off the stick of Engelbrecht. Again, the Soviets keep the pressure on. A loose puck does come out. Here's the break. Coming down, in over the line. This is Rudgar. Oh, and a beautiful save by Tiknich on a breakaway by Rudgar.
Big save there by Tiknich.
Puck goes over the glass into the crowd. And that, an outstanding save by Tiknich.
Well, Rudgar shows his speed, breaks off here, and Soviet player chasing him. Tiknich, good concentration, moves across, takes the bottom of the net away, gets a piece of up over top. Good play by the goalie. He was out on top of the crease, and you've got to give Tiknich credit because that would have made the score 2-1. That still gives the Soviets a 2-goal lead and a little bit of a cushion, especially with the power play.
46 seconds now remaining in the penalty to Ernst Höfner. Here's a break coming down, up in over the line. Svetlov goes into the corner, drops it back to the point to Staryakov. Staryakov, a pass out in front. Here's a shot. That hit a leg. Another drive and a save by Engelbrecht. Staryakov let a blistering shot go. It's at the point. Working his way in front, a backhand loose puck, and that was cleared, but not out. Now it bounces us to center. Turning is Semyonov. Semyonov leading it up in over the line. Juggling with it along the boards. In front, a shot, he scores! Semyonov, point-blank range. Another power play goal.
Well, if you don't know where to go on the ice, go to the middle of the ice in front of the net because sooner or later the puck's going to come there. German team makes a mistake. Just a little dump pass over front. Semyonov is right on the doorstep, and Engelbrecht has to go from one angle to another. Gets caught with a little bit hole between the legs. He's moving, trying to get on top to take everything away, and just gets caught. A little bit of the 5-hole open.
Anatoly Semyonov has now made it 3-0 for the Soviet Union. 6 minutes, 52 seconds remaining. Second period.
Goal scored by number 30, Anatoly Semyonov. The assist to number 25.
Soviets turn, start up on the move. Coming up down, in over the line comes Krutov. Krutov carried it back behind the German goal. Trying to keep it in was Verbuchen. And here's a whistle on the play, and it was knocked forward with the glove. Ron Wicks making the call with 6:29 remaining. And so, in the second period, the USSR is in front by 3 goals, 3-0 over Germany on Canada Cup 84.
And number 60.
USSR 3, Germany no score. That penalty was up. So that last goal was not a power play goal. The penalty was over by 3 seconds. Play at the center ice area. Soviets ahead now by 3 goals. Bela Ladinov with the puck. Lost it. Coming down in over the line. Truchka now let a shot go. That was wide. Another shot, and that went wide. Back it comes to the point. Medica's keeping it in Soviet territory. Puck is back behind goaltender Tiknich. As they try to move it, it does go loose. Krutov goes heavily into the corner, and a bouncing puck comes to center ice. Forward pass to the blue line. Marcus Kuhl failed to get anywhere with it. 5 minutes, 30 seconds remaining, second period. Poked it over the line. Pervukin carries it into the corner for the Soviets. Dropping it back to the point, a shot. Save, a bouncing puck in front. Goaltender down, and no further play.
And Germans are just sitting back and letting the Russians the Soviets take the play to them a bit.
Puck is back behind the Soviet blue line. Going back for it is Gusarov. Gusarov around to the boards, intended for Vasiliev. Now racing out to center, Vasiliev in over the line. Back, a shot is wide. Koznevnikov let it go. Still in German territory. Turning with the puck, Vasiliev. Vasiliev lost it momentarily. It hit the back of the net. Vasiliev lost his stick. Pulled down was Kuzevnikov. And Germany comes out. Here's a 3-on-2 in over the line. Peter Sharp carries it into the corner, centered out in front. No one was there. Soviet Union coming right back. Vasiliev at the line. Taken out of the play by Reindl. A forward pass was knocked down by Casatona. He handed it right onto the stick of Reindl. Reindl stopped. And Germany having difficulty penetrating the Soviet defense from the blue line.
Well, they're really standing up. The Soviet defense is really standing up, but the Germans just aren't getting real good control of the puck.
Koznevnikov was stopped. Obressa tried to pass out to center. No one was there. Kasatonov carries it back behind his own line. Kasatonov trying to get out. He's tied up by Hookner. Over on the left side, out to center. A bouncing puck was recovered by Germany. And it comes back down to the Soviet blue line. 3 minutes, 28 seconds remaining. This is the second period. Over the line right in front, working his way into Skvortsov. Shot went wide, and Colvin ran into goaltender Bernhard Engelbrecht. Stelnov back behind his own goal. Got it out to center, where it was recovered by Skvortsov. Skvortsov drops it back right in front, and it shot a backhand, just went wide. Trying to clear it out, but it was kept in by Stelnov. It comes back behind the goal, around on the left side as it bounces loose.
The inexperience of the Germans is showing. They're just not taking the body in their own end. They're just sort of standing around letting the Soviets handle the puck.
Germany's Rainer Blum had the puck stolen. Here's a shot. It's wide. Semyonov let that one go. And the puck goes over the glass into the crowd. We're in the dying minutes of the second period. The USSR leads Germany by a score of 3-0, and this is Canada Cup 1984. All have scored for the USSR here in the second period. 2 minutes and 13 seconds remaining. Loose puck picked away at center ice by Ilka Bryle. Pervukin for the Soviets. Velolodinov. Svetlov failing to click with a pass. Coming back for it. Semyonov was checked heavily into the board. Bouncing puck at center. Pervukin tried to clear it in over the line. Svetlov was pulled down. We invite you to stay tuned in the upcoming second period intermission. Jim Van Horn will be along with the TSN Sports Desk. Also, for his views on the second period and an overall assessment of the game, Bruce Hood will be along, and then Roger Nielsen will be along with his highlights of the game so far. That all comes your way in the second intermission, New Stadium.
Ron, with the retirement of Tretiak and the injury to Fedosov, the scoop was that the Soviets went back and worked on defense, and in this game it certainly has showed.
Puck is back behind the Soviet blue line. Here's a pass that came out to Yashin. He dumped it right back to his own zone. Now it comes all the way down to the German zone. Around off the boards. Yashin couldn't clear it out in front. But now Germany having some difficulty getting it out of their own zone. Puck is held along the boards in German territory to force another face-off. There's a minute, 8 seconds remaining.
The German team having a very physical game against the Czechs the other night in the 4-4 tie. Looks like as the game wears on, they're getting a little tired, and at the same time, the Soviets are picking up the pace.
Sergei Yashin, number 25 for the Soviet Union. He's seen lots of ice time in this game so far. The shots on goal tell the tale, 20-8 in favor of the Soviets. Play in German territory. A bouncing puck comes back to the line. Deflected off a leg. Trunchka tries to get it out. Pass up through the center ice area. No one was near it. Makarov carrying it in over the line. He leaves it for Larionov. Larionov along the board. Back it comes to Makarov. Makarov over to Kasatonov. Tried to center it, and Germany recovers. A bouncing puck cleared up to the blue line. Failing, though, to hang on to it was Medikas. Soviet Union coming right back, right in front, a shot, and a big save, another backhand, and another good save by Bernhard Engelbrecht as the Soviets really put the pressure on right from point-blank range.
Well, the German defense just got caught a little flat-footed. Kazatonov goes around the outside, and Engelbrecht makes a big save, and then Makarov comes in and gets the rebound, and the German defense just can't stand around like this. They've got to take the body and force them to the outside. They let the Soviets use their speed, and they're going to beat them.
Alexei Kasatonov. And he has certainly been a workhorse in the series so far of Canada Cup '84.
Well, the team captain is certainly a big leader.
Germany trying to get the puck out of their own zone. Here's a 3-on-2 coming up to center ice. A pass up and over the line, but stopped was Meitinger. And a face-off will take place outside of the Soviet blue line with a whistle on the play by linesman Kevin Collins, calling an offside. There's only 5 seconds remaining. The captain of the German team, Ignaz Berndanner.
One of the roles he plays, he's one of the aggressive players on the German team, very, very strong at taking the body.
Well, there's the siren, and so after 2 periods, Don, the German team is down by 3 goals. They were outshot 23-8 so far in the game, and a little comment on that. Did you feel the Germans went back into a shell as soon as they were down by 2 goals?
Well, the Soviets picking up the pace of the game. It seemed like the German team just seemed to sit back and let them handle the puck. With the German defense moving back in, it caused a lot of screenshots for Bernhard Engelbrecht. And they just can't do that. The Soviets have got too much speed, and once they get the puck inside your blue line, they make those little passes. And sometimes it's not a matter of handling the puck; it's just more redirecting it. And with the Soviets making those big swinging, looping, skating actions they do, they certainly look for open ice, and the Germans just can't allow them to do that.
And so, after 2 periods of action on Canada Cup '84, the USSR leading Germany the score. USSR 3. Germany, no score. Period. Makarov scoring at 50 seconds of the second period. Kasatonov at 4:46 and Semyonov at 13:03. The shots on goal really tell the tale. The USSR had 16, Germany had 2. So far in the game, the Soviets have outshot Germany 23-8.
Well, like we said, Ron, the Germans just sat back that period, and anytime you give the Russians room to move and control the puck, they're going to control it for 50 minutes a game. And this period, the Germans definitely have to come out and go after the Russians.
Here are the goaltenders for Germany: Bernhard Engelbrecht and Alexander Technich for the Soviets.
Engelbrecht definitely come up with a lot of big saves that period to keep Germany close, and Technich just wasn't that busy, but at the same time made a key save on a breakaway.
2 penalties in the second period, both going to Germany. Medicus for tripping at 2:51 and Hüfner for holding at the 11-minute mark. So in the hockey game, so far, we've had a total of 4 penalties.
Some people may be wondering, you know, where the Germans come from. They placed 5th in front of the Finns, and their hockey program has really improved in the last 10 years. They've had such NHL former pros as Doug Gibson, Bruce Boudreau from Toronto, Billy LaHead, a former member of the Detroit Red Wings, Peter Lee, a member of the Ottawa 67s and then the Pittsburgh Penguins, and Vladislav Duras, formerly of the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Third period underway. Turning now is Makarov for the Soviets. In over the line, cutting in front. Oh, and a big poke save by Engelbrecht. What a move by Makarov down the right wing.
Well, it certainly got the speed. One thing, you give the Soviets a little bit of a cushion and a little bit of a lead, and go there and take every advantage. And when they get going around the outside, the speed certainly shows, and the effort is always there. The Soviets never give up.
Good poke check by Engelbrecht.
Johnny Bauer would have been proud of him.
Loose puck comes back in over the line. Gusarov passing to the right side. This is Krutov at center. Back to Makarov. Makarov trying to get a shot away. Came off the boards. Soviets forced back onside. Gusarov lost the puck. Recovered by Trunchka. Trunchka shot it back down to Soviet territory. Larionov for the Soviets at center. Larionov doing some good stick handling. Got it in over the line. Now he's taken out of the play. And Trunchka recovered. Trunchka for Germany. The pass up through the center ice area, but failing to click on it was Dieter Hagen. Vladimir Kovan for the Soviets to center. Up in over the line, loose puck, and that's recovered. Germany turns out to center. Peter Sharp leads a rush, lost it, and back for it is Kovan. Back to center for Sharp. Sharp, forward pass. Dieter Hagen dropped it all the way back behind his own blue line. Is Germany not mounting much of an attack, Don?
No, they just seem to be circling. Instead of taking the body, they're just letting the Russians handle the pucks. There's lots of room. You just can't do that against the Soviets. They're going to take advantage of it all the time.
19 is Mikhail Varnikov. Varnikov in over the line. Roll pass. And not flying was Makarov. Makarov slowly gets back on his skates. Staryakov for the Soviets. Trying to get out. Pass goes to center. Reindl was stopped. Coming in over the line, back into the corner, trying to center it out. They couldn't get a shot away. Again, Ernst Hübner keeps it in. Stopped by Stelnov. Cutting down over the line was Svetlov. 17-18 remaining third period. The USSR leads 3-0 on Canada Cup 84. Germany no score. This is the third period. There's 17 minutes, 13 seconds remaining. Bernhard Engelbrecht leaving it. Passing over to center to right. Roy Rudgar. Rudgar was stopped. Loose puck at center ice. Now they fight for it along the boards right in front of the Soviet bench. Carrying it in over the line, trying to clear it was Medicus. It was intercepted. The right side sees Svetlov coming down and over the line. Back in front, loose puck, a shot, he scores! Anatoly Semyonov.
Well, you allow the Soviets to take the center of the ice. All three forwards go to the net. You just can't allow this to happen. The speed of the Soviets will definitely be to the outside, and Svetlov going to the open ice. Little drop pass, following up on the play. Engelbrecht goes down between the legs, little 5-hole. Goaltender Sin committed himself. This is one thing young goalkeepers should always watch for. Stay on your feet, challenge the shooter. He's only got one play.
Semyonov's second goal. Here's the announcement.
Goal scored by number 30, Anatoly Semyonov. The assist to number 16, Sergei Svetlov. The time, 3 minutes, 17 seconds.
3 minutes, 17 seconds, and that is Semyonov's second goal of the night.
Team USSR.
Now, USSR leads by a score of 4-0 here in the third period.
Ron, you've got to give the German coach Usen a lot of credit. This team has only been together for 2 weeks. They were in the middle of all their training camps with the first division teams when all these players got together, and he's worked very hard, and he's got some good combinations, and it's good experience for them to play against the high speed of the Soviets.
Berndanner at center drives it back down to the Soviet zone. Kasatonov tries to get out. Over to Vasilyev. Vasilyev a rink-wide pass. Puck comes back to center. Down the left side, poke checked away was Gusarov. Gusarov tries to get it out. Here's a hard shot, but it was way over the head of Tickney. A bouncing puck comes back inside the blue line of Germany. Back it comes. Juggling it is Givayev. Givayev lost it. Here's a pass out to the center ice area. Coming down in over the line. Schiller carrying the puck. Tried to pass it to Höfner. Failed to get it, and it comes back to center. We've got 15 minutes, 9 seconds remaining here in the third period. Here's a pass, right side. Down the line comes Krutov. Krutov in over the line, goes back behind the net, looked to center it, but it was shot off the boards over on the right side by Marcus Kuhl. A bouncing puck, handled with ease. Up over the line, Larionov carrying the puck right in front. A shot, oh, and another one. Save, the goal light goes on. And the Soviets score again. Let's take another look at that.
The quick passing play of the Soviets, Larionov, Krutov, and Makarov. Little drop passes. The German defensemen just commit themselves. Big save there by Engelbrecht, and then the rebound put in by Larionov at the side of the net. That's what the forwards should try and do. Just stay off the corners. The shot's wide, they can always deflect it.
5-0 the score. Larionov will get the goal with 14:28 remaining.
USSR goal scored by number 11, Igor Larionov. The assist to number 12, Sergei Sterakov. And number 9, Vladimir Krutov.
Here's a break. Coming down over the line. Here's Makarov. And running shoots. He scores!
The speed of the Soviets again. Good pass by Krutov. Makarov with that speed walked in, and Engelbrecht back then that little bit. Just pulls away. The good pass by Krutov, the good speed by Makarov, and just hangs on the puck. Upstairs, little hole. But Engelbrecht just a little back in the net, and Makarov has just got a little bit too much to shoot at. He should be able to put a foot higher. He's right in the inside of the crease.
That's Makarov's second goal of the night. So we've had a 2-goal performance tonight by Makarov and also by Anatoly Semyonov.
The 6th Team USSR goal.
Action underway again. Soviets putting the pressure on. Out to center ice. Höfner, a pass over on the left side.
Number 9, Vladimir Krutov.
Pervukin up to center. Over the line comes Varnikov. Varnikov was stopped. Keeping it in, though, was Givayev.
The assist to Krutov.
Soviets put the pressure on, coming right in front. A backhand, a save by Engelbrecht. Engelbrecht is down, covering up on the play. And USSR has moved into a commanding 6-0 lead in the third period on Canada Cup 84. By 6 goals now as they've exploded here in the third period. Out to the center ice area. At the line is Svetlov. Svetlov coming right in. He shoots. He scores!
Svetlov, strong hockey player, just hung on to the puck, hung on to it. The defenseman committed himself, left his feet. When any time a defenseman leaves his feet, he's caught. And with the speed of Svetlov, defenseman just gets behind, leaves his feet. The key is he just hung on the puck and waited for the goaltender to commit himself. When the goaltender goes down, upstairs it goes.
Svetlov, I believe, now has a total of 5 points in Canada Cup 84. Svetlov scoring.
Has certainly been a key to the Soviets, a big threat all the time.
Stelnov leaving it out to center. Over on the right side, Vasiliev. Vasiliev coming right in front. Oh, and Engelbrecht had to be quick on that. Here they go again. A shot, he scores! Vasiliev has scored, and now it is 7-0.
Well, Vasiliev wasn't even with his team when they came over from the Soviet Union. He was picked up after an injury. The passing play around the German net, everyone just gets a little disoriented. I feel a little sorry for Bernhard Engelbrecht. He's made some big saves, but the defense is giving him no help, and the Soviets have all time in the day to pass the puck.
Well, I was still covering the 7th goal. That's the 8th goal. I mean, you know, I can only go so fast.
You've got to be quick, Ron.
You're doing this one. Well, that's too bad, because in the first period, both teams played so cautiously, and then, in the second period, the USSR broke it wide open with 3 goals, and now in the third period, of course, it is Soviet domination over Germany.
The Soviets are famous for getting goal hungry.
Vasiliev at the line. He was stopped. Coming down in over the line all by himself is Medicis. He was cleared out of the play, and the puck went high over the back of the net. We've got 12 minutes and 29 seconds remaining. This is the third period. Coming out, Alexander Kozepnikov. Back for it is Trunchka. Trunchka goes back into the corner. Back behind his own goal. Marcus Kuhl, a pass to center. At the line, Medicis was stopped. Coming out. Now the Soviets regrouping. Staryakov in his own zone. Pervukin slowly picks his way out to center. Pervukin coming to the German blue line. Down in over the line. Pervukin right in front. A shot just went wide.
Superior puck handling of the Soviets definitely paying off.
Husner shoots it all the way back. Out of his goal is Tickney. Here's a pass handled by Makarov. Makarov to the right side to Krutov. Krutov drops it back in front. Failing to get to it was Larionov. Now Alexander Tickney, way out of his goal, backhanded it back behind his own net. Just over 11 minutes remaining in this hockey game. Krutov in over the line, a shot saved by Engelbrecht. Back to the center ice area. Coming in over the line, Krutov. Krutov trying a pass for Larionov, couldn't get a stick on it.
The time, 7:08.
A loose puck taken by Gusarov. Gusarov coming down into the corner. Trying to center it out in front. A hard check took Gusarov out of the play. Soviets still applying the pressure. Soviets forced back on side. Turning is Larionov. Larionov lost it momentarily. Manages to recover. Gives it back to Givayev. Givayev tried to center it in front of the net. No one was there. Reindl passed it out to center. Buchner backhands it off the boards. And Krutov waits. Krutov passing on the right side. Kovin was stopped. Manages, though, to recover. Goes back behind his own blue line.
Ron, if you watch the Soviets, the way they handle the puck is like every player's got 3 sticks on the ice. That's how well they use their skates.
We're in the third period, and the USSR leads Germany by a score of 8-0 on Canada Cup 84. In Edmonton in the third period, we have 9:39 remaining. The USSR has outshot Germany 35-8. Mikhail Gusarov lost the puck. Here's a pass out to center. Rudgaard couldn't get to it in time. A whistle on the play, an offside call, and 9:22 remaining.
I'm sure that people are wondering how come the Soviets seem to throw so many blind passes. The reason is that they train very hard, and they do it by playing soccer. They get together as 5-man units and practice kicking the ball. And as you know, a soccer ball isn't quite as easy to handle as a hockey puck.
The USSR has scored, Donnie, 4 goals in 2 minutes and 8 seconds.
Sounds like Wayne Gretzky and the Edmonton Oilers.
And you know all about that.
The red light and the burn on the back of the neck.
Barnikov back to the point. A shot. It's wide. Now Germany simply trying to clear it out of their own zone. Kasatonov to Gusarov. Back to center. Here's a break. Oh, and a whistle on the play. As Alexander Skvortsov was all set to go.
Well, the speed, the Soviets are always looking for a hole, and with the Germans being so disoriented, there's such a gap between the forwards and the defensemen now that the Soviets are just picking up that zone, and they're picking up a lot of 3-on-2s and 2-on-1s, and the Germans are, just to maintain in this game, they've got to definitely focus goal because they've got some games left in this tournament.
The goal was scored by number 28, Mikhail Vasilyev, and assisted by number 12, Starikov, and number 31, Kovin.
Semyonov didn't get a shot away.
7 minutes, 8 seconds.
Coming out now, a pass by Schiller at the line. He is checked. Recovering is Yashin. Yashin comes down to the line with Svetlov, and they are stopped. Stelnov, rink-wide pass. Dumped in over the line. Yashin tried to get to it. It bounces into the corner. Flipped high out to the center ice area again. Loose puck. Right back to the Soviet zone with just over 8 minutes remaining in the hockey game.
The superior defensive play of the Soviets, they haven't allowed a shot on net the entire period.
Daryukov trying to get it out. It's in front of the Soviet bench. Schiller turns at center. Schiller dumps it back to the Soviet zone, and going back for it is Daryukov. 7 minutes, 40 seconds remaining. Third period. 8-0. The USSR leading Germany. At the line, Kozivnikov. Kozivnikov is behind the goal. Now he recovers. Kozivnikov right in front, and failing to get a stick on it was Vladimir Kovin. Bounces back. Out to center comes Marcus Kuhl. Kuhl tried a pass. Didn't connect on that. Kozivnikov passes it over to Kovin. Soviet player falls to the ice. Back into the corner as they juggle it along the boards. Medic is trying to get a shot away. It was off the boards. Out to center to Kovin. Kovin simply dumps it down to the German blue line. Shot out to center ice. Coming down in over the line was Krunchka, but he was stopped. 6:32 remaining. Right side, Berndanner tried a long pass. Failed to connect with that, and there's going to be an icing call The USSR in front by 8 goals. USSR 8, Germany no score. This is Canada Cup 84. Donnie, we're mentioning they haven't had a shot on goal in the third period. We were just informed, unofficially, mind you, that looks like they haven't had a shot on goal in some 21 minutes.
Well, the Soviets worked very hard on defensive play, and Tikhonov must be very, very pleased with this performance.
Offside, Germany called. 6 minutes, 16 seconds remaining. Germany nearly had a breakaway.
Well, a few bright spots this period for them.
Rindel let a shot go. That hit a leg. Back into the Soviet zone. Germany now is trying to get something, either a shot on goal. Larionov with the puck in front of the German bench. Here's a pass over on the left side to Hagen. Hagen couldn't get anywhere with it. Pass out to center is recovered by Peter Sharp. Lobbing it high over the Soviet blue line. There's an offside with 5:07 remaining, and the USSR leading Germany by a score of 8-0 on Canada Cup 1984. 5 minutes, 7 seconds remaining. Third period, USSR leading 8-0, dominating the second and third period. After the first period was pretty evenly matched.
Germans have just sat back and let the Soviets take the play to them.
Racing down, in over the line. Here comes Varnikov. Varnikov taken out of the play. Puck goes back for Koven. Koven. Puck went loose. Taking it away now is Medikus. Medikus coming out. His pass went astray, and it's recovered by Stelnov. Varnikov again lost it, and a quick shot on goal. Finally for Germany. Right in front again. Here's a weak shot, and Tikhonov did clear it away. Here's a drive. That hit a leg as Medikus let it go. The Soviets on the move now. Semyonov dropping it back for Skvortsov. Right in front. A backhand. Oh, just went wide. The loose puck taken by Wolf. And he shoots it all the way back down to Soviet territory. Working his way to center, losing it, carrying it in over the line. Trying to get a shot away was Hagen, and he was stopped. Soviets on the move, one man back. Pass went too far for Yashin. Yashin hit along the board. Here's a drive. Down to make the save was Engelbrecht. 3 minutes, 33 seconds, and there's the other Soviet goaltender.
Well, Ron,
a night off.
Well, Ron, a good move by Tikhonov tonight to give Mushkin the night off. He's played awfully well for them in the 2 games he's played. He's only allowed 2 goals, and everyone's saying how much the Soviets would miss Tretiak, but Mushkin has certainly filled a hole, and Tikhonov hasn't looked too bad either.
15:31 was the time of the first shot of the third period by Germany.
It's a wonder Tikhoniv's feet weren't frozen to the ice.
3 minutes, 18 seconds remaining. Puck comes back down, and we've got an icing call. And so, here in the third period on Canada Cup 84, it's USSR 8, Germany, no score. Three minutes, 14 seconds remaining in this hockey game. Here is a shot right after the face-off took place. It's still in German territory. Gibayev got it behind the goal. They're trying to poke it in the short side. It goes loose. Recovered there behind the goal by Yashin. And now it is shot back down to the Soviet zone. This is Perevukin going back. Donnie?
Bernhard Engelbrecht just looked at the clock a couple times. I'm sure that he'll be happy to go to this game just with survival.
Semyonov in over the line, right in front, a shot, oh, and a big save by Engelbrecht on a good shot by Yashin.
Young man still working. He's had a lot of tough saves to make tonight and certainly performed well.
Puck is in Soviet territory. Out to center. And a whistle on the play. Linesman Kevin Collins making that call with 2 minutes, 21 seconds remaining. 39-9, the shots on goal in favor of the Soviet Union.
Well, it certainly shows their dominance in the play. The Soviets, they must have controlled the puck for about 45 minutes tonight. And, you know, Bernhard Engelbrecht made a lot of big saves. I don't think the German coach can be disappointed with his play at all. He certainly performed very, very well tonight.
Vladimir Kovan comes in to take the face-off for the Soviet Union. Bounces back onto the stick of Alexander Tickney. Puck is driven over the Soviet line by Peter Sharp. Recovered there, though, by Kasatonov. Loose puck. Medicus now shoots it back down to the Soviet zone with 1 minute, 57 seconds remaining. Time certainly has run out on Germany in this game. And it's surprising to a certain extent of the showing they made against Czechoslovakia earlier in the series, a 4-4 tie. But in this game, after the first period, it has been all the Soviet Union.
Ron, they could be a little tired, too. The game against Czechoslovakia was a very, very hard-hitting game. And when you get that much contact, certainly was tiring.
What a check thrown against Vasilyev. And Vasilyev is down. He's not moving. Whoa.
Vasilyev, he came here because of an injury, so losing him would certainly be a a real loss to the Soviets. Good hip check there, and he maybe got his head down, steps right in. Defenseman for the German team steps right in, and this is a good check by Holcomb. I'm sure that Vasilyev is having second thoughts about coming over that blue line with his head down. The Germans certainly haven't lost their spirit. They're out there still giving some hard checks. Maybe a little bit of a Charlie horse. He'll probably go to the dressing room and get the trainer to put some ice on that. So for the next game, he'll be ready to go.
Minute 27, that's the time remaining in this hockey game. Vasilyev going right to the dressing room.
The Soviets have been known to play possum with injuries before, but that is definitely one time that the player was definitely hurt.
Soviets now at center with a minute 18 remaining. Krutov dropping it back, and it was recovered by Wolf. Manfred Wolf failed to get anywhere with it. Starikov trying to get out. He couldn't make it anywhere, and coming back forward now, this is Stelnov. Stelnov down the right side, leaves it for Larionov. Larionov in over the line, goes into the corner. Tries to draw a check out in front. Stelnov couldn't handle it. He falls to the ice, manages to recover, gets it back to the blue line where it's drilled in by Krutov. Still in German territory. Off the boards is Makarov. Makarov right in front, a backhand, and good save by Engelbrecht as he was down to cover up.
That big line of the Soviets still handling the puck and still trying to score that next goal.
The Soviets now with only 17 seconds remaining. Trying to get out, lost the puck right in front, and Tickney just moved it away. Another shot, he scores right in front. And look at this crowd. Michael Betts scoring.
Well, that's one of maybe the few shifts for Michael Betts tonight. Jolly on the spot. The puck works its way over behind the net, and the Soviet defense just caught napping a bit, sort of letting the game just sort of float by, and Ticknich just sort of maybe a little surprised. He was probably hoping for a shutout, and you got to give the German team credit. It's a real compliment, and they were still working hard, just as the Soviets weren't given many chances.
1953, the time of that goal. The siren goes, and this hockey game is over. Well, the shutout of Alexander Technich was spoiled, but after the first period, Donnie, I think you'll agree, it was all the Soviets. The power was, as they say nowadays, awesome. They simply handled the Germans with ease. There was no chance the Germans were going to do anything after that second period.
Well, the Soviet defensemen certainly showed their dominance tonight. Tikhonov, the Soviet coach, has to be very, very happy with this performance.
And so the final score in the game between the USSR and Germany, the score, the USSR 8, Germany 1, Canada Cup 84. The USSR dominating Germany, final score, the USSR 8, Germany 1, the lone German goal scored by Betts in the dying seconds of the hockey game. And Don Edwards, if we could bring